What's up, YouTube people, my Facebook people, especially the ones over on YouTube, the Recovery Channel. Uh, Today we have an awesome guest with us. His name is aka Elmer Cox. I was in the madness with him. We've uh, we've been there and done it. He has an awesome backstory, I believe, and we can everybody, all of us can learn from what he has to say. So I'm going to bring him in and have him uh, give us a little backstory starting out.
What's up, everybody? My name's Elmo. I'm a recovering alcoholic addict. Identify with AA. I was born in Hamilton, Ohio. Started doing drugs when I was 9 years old. Done drugs until done drugs until I was 50 years old. I like to shoot dope. That's how I done it. That's how I drank it. I shot it. So they're supposed to tell me what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. So what it was like, it wasn't nothing but fucking pure hell. And I was fighting a battle within myself that I could not win. Um, Started selling dope to support my habit, thinking I was a big baller. And the only fucking thing I was doing was supporting a habit that was killing me. So my roommate wore wiring on me. I was a little bitter at them at first, but actually they saved my life because I wasn't going to stop until somebody did. And so God seemed fit for me to be stopped that day. I asked for treatment. They took me to treatment. Um, I'm a peer support specialist today. I help people just like me. I love myself, and that way that allows me to love others. I have the willingness to want to get up and to do right in life, whatever that is, because life happens. And what am I going to do? How am I going to react when life happens? That's up to me. It's my choice. It ain't nobody else's. Today's a good day, regardless. I'm alive. I've got clean clothes. I've got something to eat. I've got a cigarette. I got soda, water, heat, air conditioning, a little vehicle, a little money in my pocket. And all them things, I feel like we all need that to live on. But I've got something in here that I put work in that I had to actually work on every day, and I've got that peace. And that means more to me than anything. Got relationships back with my kids, my grandkids. Talk to my ex-wife a little every once in a while. I've got amazing friends that's in recovery, that's there when I need their help, and I'm there when they need my help. Um, and I'm grateful today. I've become ungrateful one time.
That's right.
And with being ungrateful, become all these other things, man. I started feeling sorry for myself. I started being angry. I couldn't stand the air I breathed. I couldn't do anything but find the negative in every situation. And that ultimately led me back to sticking and drinking my arm. And once I was committed to that, once again, they had to stop me again because I wasn't going to stop. My goal was to fucking die.
Let me ask you a question, Mo.
Yeah.
Uh, what for people out there who ain't never they got family who's out there in the madness, and but them themselves hasn't really been out there and been exposed and been deep down in it. What what's the difference in shooting it and snorting it and all that in every different way you can?
Well, so
What's
for
the
me,
difference?
well, for me, I like that instant gratification. And when I popped that blood, when I seen that blood register, And that needle, that was a high I got. That's what I was looking for. But then the after effect of seeing that in that needle, that's what I was looking for because it was instant. It wasn't just waiting on something to drain or drinking too much or booping it. You know what I mean? I ain't never done that, but once I stuck that needle in my arm for the first time, dude, it was over. There wasn't no other way for me to do that. You know, and the thing of it is when I started doing that, I started losing all my veins, and I was trying to figure out where. So I'm gonna be a little raw right here, but if you're probably under 20 years old, I've got fucking track marks on my cock older than you. That's where I went, man, and I mean that's where I'm at. That I'm a
Right.
real I'm a recovering addict today, but when I say I was a real alcoholic and addict, man, it didn't matter what it had to take for me to get that shot in. That's what I did. And if that meant hurting you, if that meant hurting your kids, stealing your shit, kicking your dog, screwing your old lady, I don't give a fuck what it was. I done it. Listen, when my kids would look at me and say, Daddy, don't go with tears in their eyes, I was the man that turned away and walked away from them because my dope was more important than my kids. Today, I got a relationship with my kids and my grandkids that I'm grateful for.
Amen. Uh, so what? How how did you get introduced? I know we was in a program called Drug Court, but did you ever think that that you ever wanted to get sober? Like,
Absolutely not.
right,
Hell no.
right,
I would have never took it upon myself to go to anybody and say, okay, I need some help. I'm out of control. Because I was on a one-way road. I only bought the ticket for one way. I didn't want to live no more. I'd done everything possible except for stick a pistol in my mouth, and I didn't have the fucking balls to fucking pull the trigger because I
right,
was a
right,
coward. And when I'd done drugs, they made me feel like a man. And really, man, I was just somebody struggling, crying out for help.
right, right. So that's crazy. I mean, I can
Yeah,
remember there being there, and it's a mess. It's chaos. It's if you was on fire, a dude wouldn't pee on you. They'd probably kick you in the head, check your pockets, and walk out the
yeah,
door.
absolutely, man. I remember one time, old boy, I was down there at Peg Legs in Washington Street apartment, and dude done one and was going out, and I said, "Look, y'all better call 911." They went through his pockets before they called 911, and then drug him out to fucking on the sidewalk. And there I stood till Marty Jackson came with warrants and all this shit on me, but I wasn't gonna let old dude die though. You know what I
Right,
mean? And the kicker of it is I didn't even like him.
right,
But that's a human life, man, and I had some kind of morals about me to try to save him. But really, my intention was so when I see him later, he owes me.
right,
Okay,
right.
you see what I'm saying?
Yep. So, what led you up to the point to where uh that you had to become in drug court or voluntary into drug court? Did you ever go to jail before then? Up until that point, like me, I went several times up until the point to where the law had me by the gonads, and I had no I couldn't call home to make a bond. I was
Yeah.
sitting there. I had no way out. What what led you up to drug court?
Well, I moved back down here. I lived in Hamilton, Ohio for about 30 years. I moved back to Kentucky in 2009. I wasn't here 2 weeks and got a gun charge, a felony by conviction. Uh, it was a 38 Derringer, two shot, and $238 that I got accused of stealing, but I didn't. So I wasn't here 2 weeks, got a gun charge. Um, he got thrown out of court because there was not enough evidence. Um, Went to jail a couple more times, but in Ohio, I've been to prison a couple times. I think my misdemeanor rap sheet, which to me, them didn't count. You know, misdemeanors don't count. If you ain't got hit seeing a felony, I ain't fucking with you. You know what I mean? So I think it's about 6 or 7 pages. I don't know how many times I went to jail on a 6 month stay, 18-month stay, 90 days, 10 days, 12 days, OR the next day, OR that day, all these things. And like, I didn't care. Like
Right.
I had a family, I had a family that loved me, and I couldn't see past my selfishness to stop doing drugs and drinking. My ex-wife used to be like, you're out cheating on me and all that. No, no, I'm not. The only thing I cheated on her with was the dope because that was the love of my life. When I chose it over everything, man, I chose it over my kids, my everything in life. I chose drugs over, and I acquired a job that the guy I worked for had my drug pack every morning. He had what I needed and wanted every morning and at lunchtime. So hell, I had the best of my world. My family loved me. They would never do nothing about it. I had a job that paid me $20 an hour hanging siding. My boss was handing me $50 to $80 a dope a day on credit. I'd bring home $200 or $300 at the end of the week, hand it to my wife. 15 minutes later, they'd give me my fucking money back because I want to go get high.
I don't mean to laugh. I
Yeah,
understand.
you
I
know,
mean,
and 21 years of marriage, man, good woman, good mother, good grandmother. 21 years of marriage. I'm standing in my front yard wondering where I'm at, lost because she left me and divorced my ass after 21 years. And that was hard. That was a hard lick, man. You know, I got with her when I was 19 years old, man. We got married and we had a couple babies, you know what I'm saying? And I just allowed the things that didn't matter in my life, man, and it destroyed everything that I worked for. And I really didn't deserve anything. The only thing I deserved was all the prison time I did, the jail time, and all this other shit because I was being a menace to society. My wife should have shot me a long time ago, what she should have done.
right. So, okay, so when you walked away from your kids, that wasn't you. That was straight up, no doubt in your mind. It was the dopes, the under the influence that you was under. I understand.
Absolutely, because you know they even though they loved me with all their heart, and they really did, my drugs come before them, but so did they. So the other day, and matter of fact, when I told you I had a little car,
Right.
my daughter, my daughter give me this car, give me that car. So we took some pictures while I was up there, and so that's my family right there. That's my daughter and my grandkids.
Amen.
That's what my sobriety allowed me to have today.
That's awesome. That's amazing. Because when I look at you from where I am now, I mean we're totally different people. I can see where we was and where we're at now. That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
This is my last mug shot.
Good
That
Lord.
was taken, and right there was a madman that would kill you for a shot of dope. He was completely out of control.
Yes. Yes. So with you being in recovery now, would you say that you have a spiritual guidance, or who I
Absolutely.
consider Jesus Christ? Who would you consider as helping you with this, or do you think it's all on your own?
Well, no. I'm a part of something greater than myself that allowed me to live a normal life today, and that's being a spiritual person. I work with alcoholics and addicts as peer support. I help them to maintain a better living of life. So if my principle for living and my spirituality doesn't line up, they'll never be like this, but they're always doing this. And once they're doing that, I'm doing the next right thing in front of me. And so listen, so where I work with all these different clients, I'm completely open minded to the fact of like some of them's higher power is God, some of them Buddha, some of them is Allah, some of them is the Mormon, whatever it is, and I respect that because that's what's helping them. So for me, none of that shit worked for me. God,
Right.
church, none of that. So I'm a spiritual person, and when my spirit is where it should be through the guidance of God, which is good, orderly direction to me, when I listen to my higher power, that allows me to do the right thing most of the time. Now, I'm only human. Do we fuck up? Fuck yeah, we fuck up. I fuck up all the time. But the difference that when I screw up today than back then is that I try to make it right before I go to sleep. I try to make whatever wrong I did right. So that way I sleep better at night because today I go about my business and my business is about being sober and helping people. My
That's what's
life is
up.
1,000 times better than what it fucking used to be, bro.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So you say you help other people in addiction, trying to break away from the addiction to see the other pasture on the other side. What kind of program are you in?
I
Or
work an AA program, which is a 12 step. Uh, it's a spiritual program. I read the big book all the time. That's like my good book. I've
yes,
been reading
sir.
the good book, the big book. A lot of the clients that I work with at a recovery center called New Day Recovery Center in Winchester, Kentucky, I work with a number of individuals, and like we have book studies, big book studies, NA studies. Have a meeting called MARA. I'm not there, but there's a meeting called MARA, which is a medically assisted recovery anonymous for people that's on MAT, which is Suboxone or I guess methadone. I don't do, for me, Suboxone is a part of my recovery.
Mm,
And I feel like for now that I have to do my Suboxone in the morning because if not, then my spiritual principles and my life principles is not meeting up. So
right.
I feel like that I use that as a coping tool. And the thing of it is, look, it's working for me. So why am I
That's
going to stop doing something that's working for me?
that's right. All right. So we get into this subject, and this is a great subject because I know some Christian people who goes to church constantly. Well, every time the doors open, that they're like they really don't they really don't see why people get on the what we would call the MAP program or
Right,
Suboxone or something because they say, oh well, you're just trading one for another.
right. I hear that
But
shit all the time.
for me, I don't know if you think the same. If I ain't out there ripping and stealing and hurting the people closest to me, I'm doing pretty good. What would you
Absolutely.
say to the church crowd on specifically that subject?
Okay. And listen, and I respect everything that anybody does or applies themselves to help them lead a better life, regardless of what it is. So my thing is okay, I hear it all the time. Well, you're just trading one for the other. Well, no, I beg your pardon because if I traded one for the other, uh, instead of doing meth, I would go back to heroin, and then that means I would be breaking in your house, whooping your ass when you didn't give me your fucking money, kicking your dog, probably smacking the fuck out of your old lady, and all these other things. So today, when I traded that one for another one, I'm doing good on it because the way I look at it, what I traded for what I do today allows me to be a better person. I'm a spiritual person. I care about people. I get up every day with the thought of, okay, who can I help today? And if somebody comes in my path, I'm going to help them if it's meant for me to help them. So I don't hold no bitterness or resentment against any of them people that want to talk shit about anything, because the way I look at it is that's their opinion and it doesn't define who I am.
That's right.
And the
That's
only
what's
thing I
up.
can do, listen, I cannot change the world. I can only change myself and accept what the world has to offer.
That's awesome. So, getting back to your story, um, so you said that it was your roommate that had busted you. Have you seen him since then? If so, what have you said? If not, how would you go about approaching him and
uh,
just was seeing him out? Because I mean, I was always raised. Somebody tells you on you, you need to bust their head.
Look, yeah, and see, and I'm a little older, so when that shit happened back when I was a kid, they usually found them face down in a ditch somewhere, and that's where they laid. They didn't get up,
Right.
and things have changed. I was raised, man, on a mountain in Jackson County in the mid '70s, and I was raised to hate people for what they looked like, for what color they was, for how they talked, if they didn't like women, if a man liked a man, if they was, I guess for the better part, if they was gay, I was taught to hate people like that. And so today, uh, like I love all my brothers and sisters, and and I do it like this. So I react to how people act accordingly. If they act with respect and all the things that like I wish to receive, I'm going to give that back. And this world's full of hate today, man. There's a lot of shit going on, and people can't stand people because of this. They do this, or this people's doing this, or this group's over here doing this, and that's okay. You know what I mean? Like I just separate myself from that shit, and I don't have to. I don't have to deal with it today. I have people that I care about that I will get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, get in my car, and go to them because they say, "Hey, man, I need some help." And the reason why I do that is not to say, "Oh, look at me, look what I'm doing," is because I remember that somebody done that shit for me one time, man. Me laying in detox, shitting and puking all over myself, wanting to drink a Gatorade or something sweet, and somebody get up out of their chair to go help to go do that, get me new bed clothes, some new clothes, help me
That's
to
good
the
stuff.
shower, help me stand there while I'm trying to clean up, and then help me back in the bed and give me a fucking Gatorade and say, "Man, I love you. If you need something," and I remember that, man. I'll never want to forget that day.
That's
And
what's up, dude.
I think a lot of us forget where we come from, and I can't dwell in my past, but like my past is a part of my story. And like,
That's
why would
right.
I want to forget it? Like, I'll never forget my past. The thing that's different with me today is I don't choose to do and live like I did back then. No better than nobody. I'm just making better decisions.
Yeah, Lord, yeah, that's some good stuff. So,
Yeah.
um, I know some people will try to help people just to see what they could benefit from it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
And
that's
and that ain't
bullshit.
how the program works. I
Oh,
think the big book says something like this: since somebody helped us, we're supposed to help other people. Something along that lines. I vaguely remember it, but something
yeah.
like that. So
Well, absolutely. Because, like, when I give back, they say to give back to get back. So, like, when I'm helping people, because that's what I'm supposed to do as a fellow member of AA or NA, like, when I help somebody, like, most people don't realize how much help I'm receiving by helping that person because for a few things, I'm not being selfish because I'm a very self centered and selfish person. Because remember when I told you that I would kick in your door and rob your ass for money? That's been selfish. Today,
That's what.
I try to help people, and this is the kicker. I don't even like people knowing that I'm helping them because I don't want the recognition of like, oh, look at me, look what I'm doing. I fuck that shit. That ain't real, man. I want to be the person that prays in the closet when nobody sees me. You see what
That's
I'm
what's
saying? Like
up.
what the good book says. That's the person I want to be. I don't want to be the guy standing up in front of everybody and being like, hey, look what I did. I just helped this guy. That's fake as fuck to me. And I don't want
Right.
to be that way. And I am going to be who I am. And just because I'm sober, everybody's not going to be happy because I'm sober because there's people today probably waiting for me to fall to say, oh, we knew it. But that's
We
okay.
told
You know
you.
what I mean?
Yeah, Lord, yeah. Or somebody just waiting to say, well, I told you that he wouldn't last long, or something
No.
along them lines.
You know,
Uh,
and it's kind of pitiful because so like why would any individual want to do that for? Why won't they say, you know what? I see you're struggling, you made a bad mistake. How can I help you? Instead of kicking you while you're down. But I would rather kick you because it's much easier to kick you and walk away than to say, hey, you want me to stay here for 30 minutes with you to give you a hand?
that's
And
what's
that's the
up.
way the
Yeah.
world is, man. The world wants to take instead of give.
Oh, yeah. It's all around us.
No,
For me, I believe that there's a large spiritual warfare going on
I
in the
fought that
world.
my whole life. When I was out there in the madness, listen, every time that I would stick a needle in my arm, man, it would quieten that spiritual internal war that I was having with myself. When I got that shot in, that was quiet. Then I could feel it coming back when the dope started wearing off. I could feel all that shit coming back. So I had to get another one in because I didn't want to deal. I didn't want life. I've been wanting to die, man, ever since I can remember, dude. That's when I was in the madness. Today, that damn, I wish that dog would shut up. Today, I live a spiritual life. I must live a spiritual life with the wholeheartedness of me trying to help others when and wherever possible. Like I have to help people, man, in order to keep myself from being sick. And when I do help people, man, that heals a little bit of that madness on the inside of me. Because I'm still sick. It don't matter if you got 1 day or 5 years or 10 years. If an alcoholic's being truthful with you, they'll still say they're sick. But see, my ego will tell me I'm not sick. And my pride will say, you'll be damned if you ask anybody for help. And that's the two things that I got to watch out for. I'm a man. I don't want to see another man. I don't want a man seeing me cry. I don't want nobody seeing me cry. But I'm a man. It don't make me a sissy to cry. It makes me a better man when I cry because I'm cleansing my spirit. Because I'm
Only
trying to get all that old bad shit out of me, man.
the sissy, I believe, for me, the sissy is the one who tries to bottle it up and not cry.
Yeah. And you know, when I don't tell them my secret, meaning that so I'm sitting here and I'm thinking about getting high for 2 days. If I don't go tell somebody that, hey, look, I've been sitting in my bed, been sitting in my room for 2 days thinking about getting high, I'm probably going to go get high because I know how I am. So when I go talk to somebody about it, it takes that power away from me. And then he can't have the hold on me like it did when I was sitting in my room thinking about it. Like doing this right here. I don't know who's going to see this and who ain't, but by me sitting here talking to you, like it's healing me on the inside, like it's helping me, man. And I hope this
That's what's
reaches so
up.
many people. I hope that somebody gets something out of this that maybe it'll click for them, man, and they'll want to lead a better life and do something different today. And that's all to me. AA is just doing something different.
So that leads me to this question: what would you tell somebody out there who who has a son, a daughter, an uncle, an aunt, whatever it may be, that they see them and they just want to give up on them, that they've tried and tried and they want to give up? what would you tell them? And then what would you say to the person doing the things that we've all done?
Well, I can relate to the part of people giving up on you because I woke up many a time by myself because everybody in the world had give up on me because I was worthless. But really, I wasn't worthless. The things that I was doing was worthless. All the actions that I was doing, the drugs, the violence, the mental abuse that I would break people down through their mind and make them weak, and then I would be above them in my own mind. You know what I mean? That's the thing that was worthless. Um, you can't give up on people, man. There's good in every individual there is. There is good in every individual. And the thing of it is with it being that said, you just got to be patient and love somebody back to life instead of fucking hating them to death.
That's what's up.
I will never give up on nobody. I won't, because so what if they've been to treatment 20 times and still don't get it, or they didn't make it through drug court, or they got one day sober and went back out and drank, and then they've done that 1,000 times. Okay, so they're making bad decisions. Does that make them a bad person?
That's
No, it
what's up.
don't. It doesn't make them a bad person. It just, to me, that means that they're reaching out for help and they don't know how to ask for help. So they're acting out by doing whatever they're doing, by drinking. The mental obsession of taking a drink sometimes gets so strong that we'll push our kids out of the way to get to it.
That's what's up, dude. I don't mean to laugh. I ain't laughing at you. I'm laughing because I can relate to every
Yeah,
bit of it.
listen, to see you and to put pictures of your son and your older son on Facebook and to see you have that relationship with them kids, man, you wouldn't allow within a country mile of them, of the oldest one, of the things that we was doing.
That's right. My
You
camera
know,
just went off.
and today, man, to see that little feller, you taking him for bike rides and out in the yard with him on the Facebook, but you know what I mean? That's what sober people do. We're not we was making bad decisions when we was doing what we was doing, but today, if we choose to be sober and to not take a drink, there ain't nothing that we can accomplish in this life because we're strong people, man. We're strong minded, we're strong willed, and if we put our mind to something, we can accomplish it. And
That's
and that's the good thing about AA is there's people all over the world, man, that's striving for the same thing anywhere you go in AA or NA because we want something different out of life. And it don't, some
yeah.
people, it might mean a big fancy house and a nice car. And that's cool. You know what I mean? Some people might want a piece of land. That's me. I want a piece of land to build a barn on so I can leave to my kids or whatever, my grandkids. Some people want a little quaint white picket fence in the front yard house, or they want a hot rod that reminded them of when they was a kid. That them things is great, man. And when people accomplish the goals that they set down being sober, just gives me hope, man, that someday I can make everything that I want out of life be in my life. And I've got that peace inside of me. But if I pick up a drink today, there ain't none of that shit gonna happen because I'm gonna tell you, I can drink one drink right now, and by the end of the month, I'm probably be sitting in jail on my way to prison.
That's what's up. I'm sorry, my camera went off. I've been sitting here. It wants me to reload it, but I'm not going to worry about it. Um, Most definitely. I mean, if as sick as we are, if we go out here and we say, "Oh man, I could do this one time, just today, tomorrow I can quit," or "Oh man, I could do it now for this very moment, and in 5 minutes I won't touch it no more." But for me, and I know other people like this, especially for yourself, we'll do one now, then it's we're not going to stop until we end up in jail or
Execution,
in a
jail,
great,
execution, or death.
yeah, Lord, yeah.
Yep.
So I guess um, I, I don't know what to ask, but I'm going. I'm trying to stretch it out for a minute. So where do you see yourself? You said that you're working with other addicts. That's awesome. Uh, for people here in Winchester, Kentucky, and they don't want to ask anybody, hey, where can I go get help? If they're watching this video, where would you volunteer the information for them to go and or call or whatever it may be?
Well, there's there's a lot of places. So if somebody is begging for help and they truly want help, the first thing I do is hit one knee and be like, God or whoever it is that they pray to, I need some fucking help and I need it right now. Then I'd get up. There's a place in on Main Street. It's called RCC. Um, it's a community center where they do peer support. They help people with housing. They have AA and NA meetings there. They have a MARA meeting. They have a Celebrate Recovery. They help people get into treatment. They have all kind of resources for anybody that's looking for help, that's willing to go in there. And that first step's always a bit like I never wanted to take that first step, but if you are willing to go and want help and willing to do it, matter of fact, their number is 859-385-5017. They're
That's
37 South
awesome.
Main Street, Winchester, Kentucky. And if you want residential treatment, New Day Recovery Center, which that's where I work at. I'm very grateful for that. I'm peer support. Um, there's probably 55 male clients and there's probably 50 female clients. It's in-house residential. Um, it's 19 Wayne Scott, Winchester, Kentucky. The phone number is 859-385-5011. A lot of good people there that will go out of their way to help anyone. We travel to pick people up to bring them to treatment if they don't have a ride. RCC does the same thing. There's all kind of there's a Serenity group on the bypass over there that holds AA meetings. I think every night except for Saturday. There's a NA meeting over there at the church across the street from the hospital on Winchester Lexington Road. Um, but if you know somebody that's in recovery, reach out to them and say, "Hey, man, where can I go, or how do I go about getting some help?"
That's what's
And
up,
that's
dude.
what and that's what somebody will do. Somebody will stop doing what they're doing and help you. You don't have to fucking live like we've all lived that life, man. You people that is out there in active addiction and alcoholism. Listen here, motherfuckers. Let me all tell you something. You all's worth more than a drink or a shot of dope. You deserve everything in life that is good. You deserve it just like anybody else does. No matter where the fuck you come from. You're worth it. Don't give up on yourself. So what? Life fucking dealt you a bad fucking hand of cards. No shit. Join the fucking crowd. The thing of it is you're loved. You're wanted. There's people like me and Matt and everybody that's in recovery. We want you to fucking come to us so we can help you. Not to get fucking publicity about it. We want to help you because that's what we're supposed to do. Don't
That's
fucking
right.
die there, man, because people are dying
Yeah,
constantly.
that's what I don't get, man. I mean, I've always told myself there's nothing worth fighting for, a woman or whatever. There's nothing worth going to war over, not unless something horrible. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Because we're all human. We're all humans are supposed to look out for all humans to try
yep.
to that way all humans can survive in this world until some dramatic event happens or whatever.
Yeah,
So coming up, thinking about it, thinking about triggers. Do you still have any triggers or
yeah, man. I mean, like, and the thoughts of using, yeah, they come by every once in a while. And triggers, like for me, a trigger could be a song. It could be the smell of a perfume. It could be the sound of something, or it could be me going down the road and looking over and saying, "Damn, I remember that." Like it could be anywhere at any time. It's how I react
right?
to them triggers. What will be the outcome?
Yes,
So when I
yes.
start having triggers and I start having using thoughts, they say if you get up and occupy your brain for 15 minutes doing a hobby, reading, doing something, them thoughts of using and them triggers will fade away. If they don't, pick the phone up and fucking call somebody. You know what I'm saying? Because I got people today that I can call no matter what time, day or night. They're going to answer the phone for me, so especially if it's 2 o'clock in the morning because they know something's wrong.
That's what's up, dude.
Uh,
So sorry about that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you're good, buddy. Go ahead.
So you said that it's how we cope with it. So going into that subject, coping. What would be some of your coping skills or your relaxing skill, whatever somebody wants to call it? How? What are some tips that you can give somebody, or what are some of the things that you do?
Well, so like every day, I get up and I've got a morning routine. And I get up, I make my coffee, I go out on the back porch, smoke a cigarette because we don't smoke in the house. Um, Then when I get all that done, my bathroom stuff, like, so this is kind of weird to me still, even though I've done it for a long time, is I look straight in the mirror, straight in my eyes, and all them things that I just told people, I tell myself that every morning. I'm worth it. I deserve it. I'm not going to give up on myself today. And I'm going to keep going and doing the things that I do because I deserve all the good out of life. I do that. I meditate, which I sit for 3 to 5 minutes, and I don't move or make any noise or anything. And then I get up and I go about my day. And I have to remember to do the little small things as the day goes along to remind me that the big thing at the end of the day is that I'm going to remain sober.
That's right. It's like getting up, making your bed every morning,
Absolutely.
and yeah, I
Absolutely.
remember.
My
I
bed's
remember.
made.
Yes, sir. I
So,
remember
yeah.
hearing that in rehab. If you get up and do one task and start your day off with that one task of making your bed, you've at least accomplished that. And if you
Yep.
can stay sober, that is a bonus.
Yeah. And, and Mike, allowing myself to be open to suggestions instead of thinking that somebody's trying to criticize me or taking pop shots at me because other people are going to see things that I'm doing that's not really correct or that's not my style. And they need to call me out on that because I'm overlooking it because I don't want to look at the fact that I'm fixing to fuck up. And I actually know that in the back of my mind. So I got people that's like, look, dude, what are you doing, man? You know you're getting off the path here. Come back and see. We bounce off each other. And I'm grateful for them people today. And they call me on my shit, and they don't fucking make it sound pretty either. Because I'm hard headed. Uh, I can be very naive. I can lie to myself and say, man, I am doing so good. And I'm standing right in a big mud puddle, stomping up and down and thinking I'm doing a good job, but I'm not. So I have all these other people, and like I go to AA meetings, I go to NA meetings, I go to MARA, I go to CR, and somebody's like, well, why do you do all that? Well, listen, because when I was out there looking for dope, it didn't matter what it was. The first thing I found is what I did. So if I need a meeting, the first one I come to, that's what I do because I'm going to do whatever it takes to stay sober today.
Yes,
Plain and
sir.
simple.
Yes.
I mean, I can't be picking and choosing how I'm going to stay sober today, point blank. I've got to fucking remain sober in order to keep the things that I've accomplished, having my family back in my life a little bit, a little bit. I don't mean all the way. I'm just saying, I'm grateful for what I got. I'm not having to look over my shoulder because the law's looking for me. I can go to my parole officer, piss in a cup for him, and knowing that I'm not going to go to jail because I'm melting the bottom of the cup. I don't got to shun people because I owe them money because I work and pay my own bills. You know what I mean? All these things that like normal adults have done for years and years and years. I'm just learning how to do that. And some days, yeah, adulting sucks. But you know what? When the days that adulting don't suck, them is like some really cool days, man. Because like I lay down at night thinking, man, I'm glad I was a part of that. And another thing, man, is learning how to respect the process and be grateful for that is way better than wanting the result at the end of it. Like it's
That's
much
right.
more peaceful just respecting the process.
That's that. I totally agree. I totally agree.
And my recovery is a process. Like I have to get up and the matter of the fact is I will probably have to identify myself for the rest of my life as a recovering alcoholic, and that I'm going to remain sober by the tools that I've learned and the actions that I put into it, going to meetings, talking to my sponsor, praying to my higher power, helping people, um, all the things that like normal people do and don't want nothing in return. I don't want a fucking thing from nobody.
That's right. That's right.
That's part of it, man. It's just knowing that I want to do all these things and not have the motive of like, well, when we get to the end of it, they owe me something. I don't live
Right.
like that today, man, and I'm fucking tickled to death. I know I cuss a lot and all this and that, and people's like, well, how can you be spiritual? Well, because my higher power pretty much is the way I am. And so we've got an agreement. As long as my words is not hurting somebody and my actions is not hurting nobody, he don't care that I cuss.
Right.
I know that I'm not going to go in church and start cussing in front of the preacher, but you know what I mean? On the norm, I just cuss. That's it.
Right. I mean, it's your relationship with your higher power, and if somebody don't, it's like if you don't like what somebody's saying, overlook them or go somewhere
Separate,
else.
yeah, separate. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
uh,
that's the
like when
great
I was
thing.
in when I
Go
was
ahead.
in treatment, them guys, man, would be sitting around telling war stories. I would immediately get up because I'm not going to partake in any of them stories and glorify that shit of how I hurt people directly and indirectly. Like if I was buying your food stamps and you had kids, uh, I was hurting your kids without hurting them. But you understand what I'm saying? If
Yes.
I
Yes.
was breaking into your store or breaking into your home and stealing your shit, and if you had people that say you had a store and I broke in your store and stole a bunch of shit that you was working on, or say it was something sentimental to one of your clients that you was working on, and I stole it because it was a gold watch or whatever, I'm hurting that person without even seeing them.
Right. Right.
I'm not about that, dude. I'm not about hurting people. Um, do I make mistakes? Yeah, I do. Do I try to make them right as soon as I make it, as soon as I realize that I've done it wrong? Yes, yes, because I will not allow myself to say, "Oh, that's okay. They'll be all right." That's bullshit. I ain't about that
It,
today. You know what I mean?
it it's at step 12 that gets us at the end of every day
Yeah,
that we have to work with.
yeah. And I
For
got
me,
to lay
it
down.
is.
I got to lay down with a clear conscience to the best of my ability because I don't want the sun to go down on me and I'm resentful towards somebody or have jealousy against them for what they have or what they don't have. Uh, and I don't want to lay down knowing that I said something to somebody or done something and it was wrong. That's
Right.
not. I'm not about that today, man. And that's the best part about being sober is like I realized and I see all these things that I'm supposed to be doing and not doing, and I've got a choice today to do the right thing. And it's amazing at the results that I get, man. Like I put the work in, my higher power at the end of all the work that I put in, he shows up and says, "Okay, you put your work in. Check this out, and here comes a big ass blessing." Whether it be a
Exactly.
raise, whether it be a raise or a better position at work, whether it be putting somebody in my life that I need at that moment to help me with my recovery even more than what I'm trying to work on. You know what I mean? Like all these things uh, factor in of the fact that if I'm doing the right thing, at the end of the day, I'm going to be blessed. If I'm doing the wrong thing, at the end of the day, I doubt I'm going to get any blessing.
Yes, that's awesome. So,
It's
are
like a
are
treasure hunt.
that's perfectly said. So in closing here, what would be your main message to somebody or to somebody's family all in one? What would be your ending message for them?
Well, there's a chapter in the big book called "To the Wise," and then there's another one called "The Family Afterward." And that book, man, is amazing. I found myself in that book. But so, like, if you're struggling with addiction, or you know somebody, a cousin, a mom, a dad, sister, brother, listen, don't give up on them. Don't give up on them. I know it's tough. It's hard on the people that's watching them basically kill themselves. Stand by them, help them, show them that you love them without enabling them. Don't give them money. Don't fucking take them to the dope man's house. None of that shit. Stand firm on loving them back to life.
That's what's
Um, get up and don't give up on yourself. Listen, if you're struggling, that doesn't mean you're failing. You fail when you quit. And fucking, we don't like quitters, right?
that's
You
what's
know,
up.
and I don't know. I hope this has helped somebody or reached somebody that they've heard something that might help them. But listen, you can guarantee this out there, whoever sees this or whatever, always remember that you're worth everything that life has to offer to you that's good for you. You're only human. I'm only human. We make mistakes. Learn from our mistakes and go on. Just because you make a bad decision doesn't make you a bad person. Love
Don't
yourself. Start learning to love yourself so you can love others. And I'm telling you, the blessing and the promises that I receive all the time is worth more than any money could ever buy. And if nobody's ever told you this today, or if they haven't told you this today, I love you, whether I know you or not, and I only want the best for you because you deserve that. I'm Elmo. I'm a recovering alcoholic, and thanks for listening to me.
That's what's up, Mo. I hope everybody has a great and blessed day. I'm hoping to have more interviews coming to this channel. Uh,
I got a few I'll line up for you.
Good job, good job. You heard it there first. Uh, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on Rumble. Don't forget to hit the follow button. I ain't even looked at the Rumble people yet. Hit the follow button, subscribe button, the thumbs up. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think about the interview. And remember, Jesus loves you.
And be truthful about the comments too.